Thanks. Many wonderful years of radioing.
I wonder how many Ken puns he made. If you can, you can.
That's a bumper sticker.
It's got to be, innit?
If you can, you're kidding.
If you can, you can. He should have Popmaster. That was the thing. That's the thing a lot of people don't know. Popmaster. It was between being called Popmaster and Ken Your Tunes. Welcome
Well,
to. It's doing this on bloody purpose. Welcome to Is It Fast, the podcast that talks about all things that move quickly and some things that don't. Welcome to 2023. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's New Year's, new you, new me.
Yeah, why not?
That's still us, mate.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I know. And returning for another year, the mighty mob at Is It Fast HQ have decided that me and you can stay together.
Oh,
I
that's
know.
nice of them.
I know.
That was some sign-up sheet battle.
It
at
really
the HQ, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really, really was. But we are back, and we have an exciting year ahead, as well as an exciting show today. And I've often found if you have to tell people that something's going to be exciting, it probably won't be. So we've got a lot to cover. But first of all, how are you? You all right?
Yeah, doing really well. Had a great Christmas break. I didn't see you much, so that was good.
Yes. That's true.
Other than that, yeah, we're back, and it's kind of just marginally less annoying than that We Buy Any Car advert where they're dancing.
Oh yeah, have you seen that?
I really have, actually. Yeah, it's Once again, Is It Fast? Where talking about driving is a little bit like dancing about architecture. One day we might make it into a car.
I know.
Again, yeah.
I know. It's been a while. We do actually have quite a few car reviews, both lined up and also for your delectation. So do make sure that you head over to isitfast.co.uk or just go to your search engine and put in Is It Fast and we'll show up first because we're really good at SEO.
We are.
Well, you are. So make sure you keep up with all the latest news in between when we are on air. So make sure you do that. We have some very talented writers talking about stuff on there and reviewing cars that they've driven. So thank you very much. Make sure you head over and add to our numbers. That would be lovely. But rather than starting this week on things that go on the ground, we're starting with things that go on the ground and in the air. So this is the news that broke a little while ago. From Stellantis. Stellantis being the company, if you don't know, that own Peugeot, Alfa Romeo, Fiat, Vauxhall, Chrysler, GM, I think, amongst others. They announced that they are going into the aircraft world. So you might have already seen this news, but we found it quite interesting, so we think it's worth noting on the first show of the year. According to Stellantis, eVTOLs, so that is electronic vertical takeoff or landing? Whatever.
Landing.
And landing.
I had that written down. I was going to quiz you on that,
Yeah,
and
why is
you've
it
impressed me
VTOLs?
already.
Crikey, that's weird. Are a style of aircraft that has gained popularity among entrepreneurs in the transportation industry. So they have signed up with Archer, not the cartoon show, which is fantastic.
I was going to say, or the radio drama, or the liqueur.
Oh, not the show.
The Archers.
No, my version of Archer is Lana!
Danger Zone. Yeah.
Danger Zone!
Brilliant show. If you haven't seen
Brilliant
that.
show.
I think they plug us as well, though. To be
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been plugged on Archer the show. So they've basically said, yep, do you know what? We're going to fund you, Archer, to the tune of $150 million, which Archer can use at their discretion between 2023 and 2024 to create their aircraft, which will be electrically driven. Will have a range of 100 miles, designed for 20-minute rides with a 10-minute charging break in between. And basically, these whole the eVTOL aircrafts are one of the solutions to the future of transportation to make sure that we cut down on traffic.
Yeah.
It's weird though, isn't it?
It is a bit weird, yeah. Must admit, when I first kind of glanced on this one, I thought it was Stella Antics, like what you get up to on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are planning to begin the manufacture of these by 2024. The Midnight is designed to be safe, sustainable, and quiet, stressed Archer. Interested that you've already picked up that it's going to be 20 mile bursts, 10-minute charging. Essentially, we're getting air taxis.
Yes.
Yeah, which is absolutely fine. They are really just going to look like kind of big flat kind of drones, though, aren't they? Really,
They look cool as hell.
They do. What I want to see, especially who's building them, is like flying Fiat 500s.
Right.
It would be a little bit like. Have you ever heard this thing about the Bumblebee?
Yes.
The Bumblebee should not aerodynamically be able to fly, but nobody told him that, so off he goes. Seeing a lot of flying Fiat Bumblebees in the sky, I think would be awesome.
I mean, so these are piloted by qualified pilots, I'm led to
Yeah.
believe. It does lean itself into, we'll be able to fly our own flying cars around potentially in the future, but most people can't drive or park, so why the hell would they let you in the air?
Yeah.
That's my big thing. But there we go. A little bit of news from earlier in the year that we thought was worth making.
But it's about time. It's like we were promised jetpacks. Very underrated band. But let's get behind this potential. And I really do blame reality TV and situation dramas that we're not there already.
Yeah, well, there you go. All the money's been channeled into the wrong thing. So thank the Kardashians for the fact that you haven't got jetpacks or flying cars yet. So there you go. But tell us what you think. Is this the future of transport? It's probably going to be a thing in the US because they've got lots of space before it's a thing here. Possibly China, although who knows? Stellantis and Archer teaming up for $150 million worth of funding for this. So there you go. BMW.
Yes.
BMW. So BMW have been in the news a lot the last kind of 4 to 6 weeks. I am a fan of BMW at the moment.
Yeah.
I have a BMW on order. I know.
Never mentioned that on the show.
I never mentioned that. It will arrive at some point, I'm sure. It's only been on order for the last 6 months. Sure, it'll be lovely when it gets here. But BMW have been in a kind of war against themselves for the last 12, 18, 24 months, redeveloping their interior, redeveloping their exteriors, redeveloping their performance elements as well, which we'll go on to later. But they launched something quite interesting over the last kind of few weeks, months. And it's the worst kept secret because everyone knew it was coming. BMW D.
Yes.
iVision. So this is... it was launched with a 6-minute intro video, fronted by... Get to the chopper!
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Worth a watch, because it's quite trippy. It's really confusing, because it's the car of the future now. I still, and I've had weeks to think about this, still don't really understand what the point was, because at the end of it, they just kind of showed a bit of a physical car that's probably going to replace the 3 Series.
Yeah. Have you seen this thing? And you know what D stands for? It stands for Digital Emotional Experience, which is now what I'm going to call it when the Wi-Fi's not working and I'm chucking the toys at the pram. Outlandish, oversized wheels, a square steering wheel. It basically looks like a car that you've designed in Windows Paint.
Okay.
The design of it is quite interesting. Looks like the really old, like older than me old, the Maserati bi-turbo.
Shakira old.
Shakira old. I probably still would, the Maserati and Shakira. The headlights do alter shape and size depending on the function, which is quite cool.
Yes, this is...
but they also do look like your mum typing in a website address. It's // So that's interesting. And it also just kind of looks like every single EV coming out of Korea now anyway.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. The fact it changes colour.
Yeah, that's...
Which we've seen already in the iVision or iX or whatever it was called, which is interesting.
You know the body shape for it.
Yes.
What it honestly looks like is when you were at school and your pal used to take your eraser and colour it in Tipex.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it basically looks like.
Yeah.
BMW have had great success the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Probably no reason to think why this won't be. Good to see a bit of hard competition for Tesla, which we'll be getting onto in a second. But yeah,
Yeah.
Well, why not? We'll wait and see. It's
Have
a
a look at it.
concept.
Have a look at it. If you're listening, just
Yeah.
type in BMW D,
DEE.
DEE. But yeah, it's an interesting concept. I think we'll probably see it an A version in the next 2 years, replacing the 3 Series. It's basically an electric 3 Series, but they did this whole digital emotion thing to go around it, which was interesting. But the launch is worth it. It felt like the longest 6 minutes of my life, if I'm honest. But it was interesting.
Why don't they get to the fireworks factory?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Weird thing. But there we go. Tell us what you think. Have a look at it. If you're watching, tell us what you thought of the look of it. We haven't really gone into great depth because it's honestly it's a very confusing launch and still very confusing what they're trying to do with it. I'm sure it made sense.
It almost feels like the concept of a concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Where this will not be what the actual thing looks like.
No, it's very odd. But there we go. Tell us what
Moving
you
on.
think. Yeah, you very eloquently mentioned Tesla. So when we get to an end of a year, the SMMT, the Society for Motoring Manufacturers and Trade, released the figures for basically how the British motor trade is doing. And we get to know what everyone's buying. And the figures are such. So in 2022, first of all, the lowest car sales
Since about 1992.
since 1992.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a worry. But the most cars sold in 2022 was, no surprise, the Nissan Qashqai. The
Qashqai.
Qashqai, closely followed by the Corsa, but interestingly, followed by the Model Y, the Tesla Model Y,
There
which
we
is
are.
also the highest selling electric car, which is interesting. So third overall, and the highest selling electric car, and the Fiesta, which is getting the chop this year, 10th.
So still popular enough to be in the top 10.
Still popular enough to be in the top 10.
Not good enough to carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very difficult year. Obviously, that's what industry experts are kind of blaming internally. Shortage of semiconductors, chips on lockdown from China, other components elsewhere, including the Ukraine. Electric cars, definitely not in a recession.
Not in a recession.
Electric cars making 16% of all new models, and diesels fell by just under 10% as well. So
Okay.
they are kind of phasing these things out. Interesting with the Nissan Qashqai, this is the first time a British-built vehicle has actually secured the top slot since 1998.
They're built in Sunderland, aren't they?
They are.
That was the whole thing.
That was it.
Built in Sunderland.
So thank you, Mackems.
Yes, well,
appreciate that.
yes, well done. Do you know, in the UK, talking of manufacturing in the UK, this is very fresh news. It's the lowest number of cars that have been produced in the UK since 1956.
Yeah, that's. But then
Manufactured
no wonder.
in the UK.
Yeah, but no wonder kind of the sales are down and everything like that. Have you actually, well, you've obviously been to a garage recently. There's a Ford garage near us, and they are wanting 19 to 20 grand for a Fiesta.
Yeah.
Come on. Like,
Yeah.
that is hardly a starter car as it once was.
Yeah, I think, and we won't talk about it in this show, but we will talk about it at some point, I'm sure, of British Volt going under.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about another time. But that was meant to be the future of the British car manufacturing. So not only are less cars being bought in the UK by people, we're actually making less cars than we have done in 66 years.
Yeah.
And the future of those cars being built in the UK has also gone bust.
Well, when public transport's so reliable.
It is so reliable. So overall, unfortunately, it doesn't paint a brilliant picture for the future. The record high for car manufacturing in this country and exportation in this country, 2016, and then something happened, and now it's gone down. But I don't know. Answers on the back of a postcard.
Hibs won the Scottish Cup.
Is that what? Yeah. So no one needed a car anymore.
Yeah. No one could drive for about 6 months.
So anyway, interesting though. I mean, you couldn't pay me to buy a Model Y.
No,
No.
I like them.
Good.
Yeah.
Enjoy your bar of soap. Awful cars. I'm sure they're fine. Tesla lovers get in the comments hard, and they get you bad.
They do, yeah.
But I think the whole thing's the whole thing's a joke. I think the owner is not doing his brand's reputation.
No, he probably isn't.
I don't want to own a Tesla. I didn't want to own a Tesla before. No, I definitely don't. Qashqai Corsa, yeah, good cars. It's good.
Yeah.
Solid average 2-car garage there. So there you go.
And you're in good company.
Yes, exactly. Did you buy a car in 2022? Do tell us what you bought, why you bought it, and how much it cost you. Why not? Because I tried to buy a car in 2022 and it's still not delivered.
You might be able to contribute to the 2024 numbers.
Maybe. Although I'm pretty sure my Beamer won't be in the top setting. We did order one of the most annoying to produce. Cool. Do you want some more bad news?
Go on for it. Yeah, that's
The
it.
UK's pothole problem is set to worsen as road repair costs surge. Now, if you are out and about on Britain's roads today, you will probably notice that there are more gopher craters than otherwise bloody acceptable.
I think some of the roads in Ukraine are faring better.
Yeah, exactly. We'll go straight past that. No, I can't. I was going to say I'm not dealing with that hand grenade. The soaring inflation and the squeeze on council budgets are set to make a dent in the roads maintenance budget as local leaders tighten spending belts. So it's not a secret that budgets are stretched. The government is struggling for cash, and the local authorities have been struggling for cash for a long time. So if you've got a pothole, basically it looks like it might not even be repaired. Reported backlog for carriageway repairs has increased by 23%, which is mad.
Yeah.
But did you know, sorry to cut you off,
No.
did you know that there is such a thing as the Asphalt Industry Alliance?
I did not. That seems like a slogan T-shirt that you could wear to freshers.
So the Asphalt Industry Alliance, that's the trade body that campaigns for improved roads and maintenance. So although I'm taking the mick out of its name, quite an important set of people.
They really are, yeah. Research is showing annual highway maintenance funding has been cut by over 400 million, which obviously is utterly mental.
It's utterly mental.
Yeah,
The
budget's
roads
frozen.
are
as
so
you said.
bad.
They really are. A spokesman for the Department of Transport said, "We are investing more than $5 billion from 2020 to 2025 into local highway maintenance, including pothole funds announced."
$1 billion a year if you're bad at maths.
Exactly. And this fund will fill millions of potholes a year. No name given by this personnel, probably because he doesn't want to be associated with this bunch of lies.
Fair one. I wouldn't want my name out there either.
It's not like Is It Faster going a bit of a rant, but I feel we're kind of building up to one here. Where does all the money go for our MOTs, our road taxes, our council taxes, speed and parking fines?
I'm not going to do it.
Oh, you are?
The thing is...
The council around here genuinely think the rain filling the potholes is job done.
Well, I nearly covered, on the way here, an unsuspected pedestrian in quite a lot of muddy water because it was in a pothole and I didn't realise. And I was going through it, not at speed. Car was heavy. And then he cut... And I just think... This is madness. It's costing so much money.
And funny enough, you would actually be charged. If you'd soaked that person and somebody had caught you seeing you could be in real trouble.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, what really does annoy me, though, it's the shoddy maintenance job that they actually do. Anytime, like, the utility companies come along and dig up the gas, the electrics, the broadband, anything like that, when they put it back down, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
We want councils to make sure that there's a little bit of responsibility.
Yeah, don't worry, listeners and viewers. We do finish on a high today, but
do we?
I don't know, maybe. But yeah, not great. So if you're frustrated with the pothole situation right now, my advice to you would be get better at avoiding them rather than expecting them to be filled in. And if they do get filled in, they're only going to. We've had 2 potholes on the road that I live on. Bear in mind, it's not a through road where I live.
No,
it goes to a cul-de-sac. 2 potholes that have been filled in about 3 times, all so poorly that they've just come apart. So just do it properly. Anyway.
Yeah, no, you're right. Can we start a rant about bike lanes? Potholes do better.
Potholes do better. Dakar. For the last 5 years on Is It Fast,
Yeah.
I can't go into the new year without mentioning Dakar.
No,
But I'm going to skim past it today.
you are a fan.
I'm a
It is
massive fan of
It
the
is your
Dakar.
favourite.
It is my favourite.
Yeah.
It was the Dakar got me into motorsport. This year was good. It wasn't that good.
Okay.
I didn't get that into it.
Semi-anticlimax then?
Yeah, sorry. But the Dakar, five-time winner, NASA won it again. The interesting bits.
Yeah, the new rules that they brought in.
Yeah.
Quite interesting, yeah. Digital roadblocks for all participants, including bikes.
Yes.
Quite keen on that. Time bonuses for bikes in opening stages.
Yes.
Quite cool. There was something else. Yeah, Dakar Classic will follow new routes, 13 stages,
Yeah.
2 marathons.
So with the
Yeah.
Classic. So the Classic is actually the one I get into the most now.
Yeah.
And that is because...
Bit like yourself, Stu.
Bit like myself. Now, the reason there's new in my there probably is a real reason for this, but how I took it because I didn't read it properly. The classic cars are obviously getting more modern, if you know what I mean. So the older we get,
We need new modern cars.
yeah.
New old cars.
Yeah, so obviously those classic Dakars, the what class are they? T2 or whatever.
Yeah.
They are now newer. They're not like from the 70s. They're from like the 90s.
Yeah.
So add more stages, more distance because it's more of a travail for the cars. So there we go. That's and there was some great stuff there. The trucks were always good. Love the trucks.
Yeah.
Um,
I wonder though, obviously, this was the 45th Dakar Rally. For routes will feature 70% new tracks as well. So was there an element of less driver know-how for
I don't know.
maybe reducing the amount of...
The circuit this year
Yeah.
was. I mean, it seemed like NASA won at a canter this year.
Yeah.
And the route took you across Saudi Arabia rather than kind of doubling back on yourself a bit more. My problem, and I don't know if this is a traditionalist problem with the Dakar, is obviously before it was Paris-Dakar. Now, for obvious reasons, you can't go from Paris to Dakar anymore. Well, maybe you could now, but you were probably going to get taken by Boko Haram or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Saudi Arabia for the foreseeable.
Yeah.
It's just getting a little bit like any other rally raid, whereas before I don't know if I'm just a bit old school. I still enjoy it. I'm glad. I still want to do it. I would still love to do the Dakar. I've looked into it. I don't have the money.
I want to do the Gumbo Rally.
Yeah, that's much cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper. And also you get explore cities as opposed to explore deserts.
Yeah, I just want to do the Dakar and finish, if I'm honest. But yeah, so the Dakar was done, and 2024 will be another one. But it was all right.
It hasn't put you off though. You will still tune in next year.
Yes.
Or this year. Yeah.
Yes. No, next year. No.
Is it not kind of starting in like December, November?
Oh yeah, it does start 31st of December. So technically this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Wait.
Hold on. I know this one.
You do. Auger.
Not the guy who doesn't wear a glove.
No.
He definitely didn't kill his wife.
No. I was like, what?
If the glove don't fit, you must quit.
Must have quit.
There's a topical reference for us there.
Yeah, showing our age. WRC returneth and opened with Monte Carlo, where Monsieur Auger won his record-breaking or record-equaling. Again, I didn't read it.
Breaking.
Huh?
Record breaking.
Record-breaking.
Yeah.
Testing you all.
Producer Alex, I did my homework. I want that pointed out.
Yes, I just assumed I knew because I watched it. Auger won his 9th Monte Carlo rally, which is record breaking. He is a legend, to be fair. He can
Yes.
all these rally drivers are. a different specimen. Great sights and sounds. Incredible to see the fans out and really getting behind it. They had a night stage like they do at Monte Carlo. But the real star of the show, don't know if you've seen this,
Go on.
was during the night stage, 2 doggers caught.
Yes, I did see the still of that. Yeah.
Alexander, the producer, please insert if you're watching this. Don't know what that does to our AdSense or our Google rating. Just a wee arse lit up in the night by a rally car. You kind of have to hope that they did that on purpose.
You've got to
Hope
think,
that they did that on purpose.
or it's the catch of all time. Like, yeah.
I mean, imagine your arse being lit up by a bloody... I think it was a GR Yaris going past at 120 kilometres an hour. Which was funny. So yeah, Midnight Shaggers on Monte Carlo, which is going to be the name of today's podcast, I think. Midnight Shagging at Monte Carlo.
Rejected James Bond.
I should know. Meet me at Monte Carlo where we can be Midnight Shaggers. Ba-dum, ba-dum. But it's good to see the World Rally Championship out. But the WRC made a statement saying, or one of the guys at WRC, saying, no, the house is not on fire.
No.
Even though they only have 3 manufacturers taking part at the top level. So that's the interesting part, I think, for me.
Yeah. Massive drop in the popularity.
It kind of feels like there is.
I wanted to kind of chuck it back to you because obviously we've lost a lot of manufacturers from it,
Yeah.
which obviously means there's a lot less drivers, so there's a lot less competition.
Yeah.
But the subscription channel, WRC Plus, is still £100 a year to sit and watch potentially less than 8 stages
Yeah.
and kind of
it's
free
is it on
manufacturers.
Eurosport as well.
Possibly,
Live. I watch it on... No, BT, it's on BT. Sorry, it's on BT Sport, and I watch the highlights.
Again, we'll go back to our kind of traditionalists. When you could watch these stuff in the 70s, there was 40 plus drivers and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, we don't want to obviously take away from the success and the skill.
It just feels a long time ago that we were
Yeah.
all watching. We were watching Hakkinen and McRae and all these legends. You know, you go back a bit further before my time. You know, the Lancias and the Audis and stuff. It just, we're Mitsubishi Subaru guys, and then it just feels like there's a bit of work to be done to bring it back. And I think paywall has a lot to do with it. If you want to watch motorsport live, you've got to, like a lot of sports, you've got to have like 7 subscriptions to different stuff. Yeah. So it's just tough, isn't it?
And people, of course, are watching their pennies. So
yes, they are, which is fair enough. But there you go. But it was good. It was good. It was an interesting watch. But have you been watching WRC this year? What have you thought about it? Have you shagged at midnight on the side of a rally track and thought better of it? Tell us in the comments. Weird one. But there we go. And finally,
is it time for the and finally?
no, there's one more.
Ah.
BMW. So we said we had some news. This is hot off the press for us, and you can read a very short article about it on isitfast.co.uk. BMW M3 CS. So BMW are continuing to strip the weight out of their performance models. So there's been the M4 CSL. If you missed that, have a Google of that. It's quite cool. Not for me, but I can see why you would. M3 CS. So BMW M3, they had you can get yourself a BMW M3 competition. This is meant to be a even more track-focused, stripped-out version of said thing. £115,000. Yeah. 540 plus brake horsepower. You're probably going to get about 550. Electronic limited to 188 miles an hour. Interesting thing that I'm pondering, and I haven't checked, but I'd like you, the audience, to tell us. German cars were limited to 155 miles an hour, electronically limited to 155 miles an hour in the UK and elsewhere in Europe. Is it now higher than that because we've left the EU? Just an interesting thing. I genuinely don't know the answer, and knocking that out to you. BMW M3 CS comes with all the bells and whistles, all the mod cons, but it's made of carbon fiber light material. They've gone mad on cutting weight. It's only like 30 or 40 kilograms lighter than the M3 competition, which is still lighter, but is it really worth another 15 grand? I don't know. So yeah, BMW M3 CS.
Yeah.
Have a little look. It's BMW continuing. We went through a whole phase of putting weight into cars because we either had to because of the new mandated safety equipment, which is fine, or equipment such as air conditioning, infotainment, all the rest of it. And now there's a mad dash to try and get that weight back out. So interesting.
Yeah, I am a big fan of the new kind of aggressive style.
It is, yeah, I like it.
Much bigger front splitter
Yep.
on it. The black stripes on the bonnet are really cool as well with it. The side of the car also gets the kind of the massive skirts as well. Looking at it, again, visit our website, in the green as well. Really, really smart. It does look a little bit like the mask the Green Goblin wears in Spider-Man, or one of those creepers from Minecraft. See, I'm down with the kids. I know what Minecraft is.
Yeah. Do kids still play Minecraft?
Guessing so.
I don't know. I think it looks good.
But yeah, what's it, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds?
Yeah, and it's German, so it's probably 3 seconds.
Yeah. And
they always
yeah,
underplay it.
interior, kind of the basics for it, but carbon fibre bucket seats, the carbon central console as well. Really kind of cool curved infotainment screen on it as well. But I kind of do struggle at 115,000 for a hot
It's a lot of money.
BMW M3.
Cars are more expensive than they've ever been. I get that. But for 115 grand, I'm going to Aston Martin and buying a Vantage. I'm sorry, that's just where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
If I want a BMW M3, I'm just going to get the competition or just a BMW M3.
Yeah.
Because it just looks aggressive enough for me. Or an M3 Tourer, which is just as good. But there we go. Tell us what you think of the new aggressive styling. Tell us what you think of the new BMW M3 CS. Do share your thoughts because I would like to hear them.
Yeah, me too.
Now, of course, it is the new year and everybody wants to try and get fit. So make sure you head over, if you are local to the East Kent area, to one of our very lovely partners, Bay Point Fitness Club in the Sandwich area, where they are a fitness club. They've got all sorts of different stuff. You can play football, you can play squash, and other such things. Go to classes.
Pickleball.
Pickleball?
Yeah.
What?
That's a thing.
I believe you.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks to Bay Point for supporting Is It Fast. We appreciate it hugely. And make sure that if you are in the East Kent area, that you head down there to lose that Christmas pounds that you put on your fat git. So make sure they're very welcoming and you'll lose loads of weight and have a great time while you're at it, while finding out what pickleball is. Pickleball.
Yes. As in Branson.
Richard Pickleball.
No.
Branston.
Branson Pickle.
Right. I thought you said Branson. Richard Branson. Head down to Bay Point Fitness Club in Sandwich area, East Kent now, where you could meet Richard Branston Pickleball. This is a... What?
This is a shocking moment. That
Sorry.
a car slams into a motorway toll station, flying about probably about 20 or 30 foot in the air, with the driver somehow surviving. This happened in China. Producer Alex will kind of cut this in, but basically he's driving towards the toll booth very, very, very quickly, and is basically takes off vertically, and is also able to then. Yeah, he did survive. He reported to be recovering in China.
Sure he's not recovering on the moon? He absolutely took off.
Yeah, CCTV footage shows this. Absolutely mental.
My God.
Personally, I didn't realise that Richard Hammond was now working in China.
Yeah, I know.
It is a little bit far. We were talking about flying cars earlier today.
We were.
Well, this is the actual proof of it.
So they don't know what. For whatever reason, the driver approached the toll station with far too much speed, and rather than driving into one of the lanes, instead slammed directly into a concrete divide. I mean, it's not funny, really.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be laughing if he died, eh?
That's it.
I didn't know it's possible to do that.
Well, the thing is, I've never seen a barrier do that before. Like most of these are filled with kind of water or concrete, so they're there to kind of slow people down. Basically, the Chinese have gone kind of sod it. We're making a ramp off it. Very kind of Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah. Bloody hell, poor guy.
But
Still.
yeah, fair play to that barricade. That's what I want my phone case made out of.
Well, if that barricade wasn't there, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, poor tool booth
Well,
operator.
it would have gone straight into the toll
be in
booth,
trouble.
which is kind of why it's there, I guess.
Yeah.
But wowzers.
Yeah, we all hate tolls, but
We
you know,
do all hate tolls, but I mean, trying
This
to get
is-
over it
yeah.
is not the one.
probably not.
But there you go.
That's us.
Bloody
That's
hell.
that's it. So that is my and finally this week.
Jesus, that's pretty horrific. But thank you very much for tuning in to Is It Fast? If you listened to us or you watched us, make sure that you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, leave some comments on what you thought of the subjects that we covered, not the way that we covered them. Only positive feedback, please. I'm a very delicate soul nowadays.
We are a safe space.
Yeah, but it's a safe space. But thank you very much for joining us back here 2023. Make sure that you do subscribe to us on your social media platform of choice. And remember, of course, to head over to our website where you can keep up with all the latest news, reviews, and other bits and bobs that we do. And of course, thank you, mate, for joining us and keeping us actually quite well informed.
Yeah, for a change.
I feel
Yeah.
I'm not informing people anymore.
No, not really for that, but that's fine. You're still pretty. But yeah, no, thanks very much for tuning in, guys. We will be back in a couple of weeks' time with more news, reviews, hopefully funny videos, and a little bit of insight. What we try to do.
Yeah, a bit of insight.
Why not? But remember, is it fast? We are the voice that tells you, yes, you can parallel park into that space.
Thank you very much. See you next time.
Cheers.
Beep, 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 beep. No, no, no! Beep!